So this is my Burggeist. It is a giant creature holding a plateau filled with weaponry. I've only really just started. I've made a few of these towers. It's a solo dev open world exploration game, but it's got like a really simple progression mechanic, which is just build these towers. It's like open world action RPG tower defense. The only way I think you can get like actual XP is by building these towers, and your goal is to build these towers to 5,000 N, which is the unit of measurement for these. I don't know if that's like miles, meters, but 5,000 N. And when you get there, you can, I think, confront something that will help heal your sick wife. The game itself is so gorgeous, and it's so open, and I think there's something really beautiful about the way that it encourages you to explore. This is the map, and we are at Tower Tomorrow. There's like all these different biomes and sections, and each one has a few items scattered across each area. You can get these items and they contribute to your inventory, which you can unlock slots for through the leveling system. Most of it is damage based, but I think there is, like, I know there's a broom that I can get, which will help me further move, because right now those are my only two movement options, but there's a lot of platforming, which I think is really cool and exciting. It's fun to like explore this whole map, but it's also kind of frustrating because I know there's stuff on top of these, which I think are like new abilities. But you can't get up there without, I think, the broom or other abilities. Also, this Burggeist, the thing that I didn't mention earlier, you control it. So it's also like a companion system where I can have it follow me with the V, and it'll run to catch up to me, super cute. I can have it attack stuff. These white things out here are things that you can have it come and attack, and they will get you points which you can spend to strengthen your towers. I just lost this tower, so I had to re-strengthen a bunch of it. Although it seems like you keep a certain amount of progression when you strengthen it for at least a couple runs. There's another tower over there. You can build multiple towers at once. I keep going to the top of this thing, forgetting that I had already gotten the item at the top of it, but most of these things have items. But there's like a significant amount of platforming that you are supposed to do to get the items. I really want to get up here, but I've been having a really difficult time doing the platforming that gets you across these few rocks. So I'm going to try to level up a bit, see if I can get more traversal options, or if I can run into, I think you run into a character inside one of these towers that gives you the broom, and the broom gives you an extra boost. So we're going to build another tower here, and I'll show you how this works. This is the tower defense. Okay, so I have an ability that it's like you don't take damage, but I don't understand how that works because I haven't taken damage at all. I'm wondering if there are enemies eventually, because there are more enemies. Like, these are the ones you start off fighting when you unlock a tower, but the other ones, when I fought like further, the enemies have become weirder and weirder, which is cool. I like it. All the damage is incline based, including his damage, or this Bucko's damage. I haven't leveled up enough, I don't think, to like really see the difference. It's like only like 100 damage difference right now, but I think I need to be much more powerful because there are certain things I can't even unlock yet, like because I have to destroy them fast enough, and that's like other guns and stuff for him. I guess it is a decent amount of damage buff, but it doesn't feel that detrimental. I keep worrying that there's going to be some coming from this way. I have to go kill this trumpeter. So trumpeters come and then you can't like build anything while they're here. Oh no. They are coming from the other side now. I'm not exactly great at defending these things yet. It's hard to know like where your influence is best kept. But I think the trumpeters summon like heavier and heavier enemies for you to fight, and like some of them attack faster, which makes it pretty difficult to keep up with the damage output, even with like max healing, which I have currently. Oh shit. Do we keep constructing or do we okay, yeah, we're gonna finish construction. Wait, where is the attack coming from? And then you can enter the tower. And so this is the strengthening. I think durability is important, construction speed, auto repair definitely, but the more time you have, the more, I think the higher you have to build it to. Like this one, I feel like initially you only have to build it to like 800 or something. But then in the next one, I think it's like over 2,000, so it's not like a 50-50 every time, it's like incremental. You get XP every time you level up, or every time you build one. I'll take max gyromantia. That just lets me move around a lot faster, I think. It's probably smart to max out the building skills, because then you can do this faster and you won't lose your progress every time, because I think as you build like sections, it will introduce you to characters which you can then do missions for and find items for. I've found a lot of items already, but it seems like there's even more, which makes me feel like I can... Yeah, okay, they're coming from this way. We gotta get you going, buddy old pal. There's definitely stuff coming from below me. I should probably take that while my buddy is attacking this lane, but I also think... I don't think my thing is strong enough yet to really help handle its own lane. I wish there was a way to put it on auto attack. You have to be here to prevent it from like stopping its attack, or to like choose where it should attack. Hey, stop attacking it. Where is the thing that's shooting it? There's definitely a little dude that is shooting. Okay, there you are. We need to get the trumpeter. Hopefully my buddy can handle doing that. We gotta finish this quick. That was so close. Yeah, it's crazy how much like having a movement ability and then like this commanding, it like makes moving around the map fun, and then adding like platforming as like a crucial part of creating like these experiences. You know, like platforming is a crucial part of getting, like, improving in the game. And it, like, makes all of the, like, exploring all of these environments so much more important. These, you can go up and, like, do some platforming to get to those, and they give you more of this currency for, like, upgrading stuff. You can also update your Burggeist itself with that currency, so when I get more armaments, which you unlock by destroying them, which I can't do yet because I don't have enough Gyromantia damage. Or at least I haven't figured out how to do it, if that's not how. I think you need to do a certain amount of damage within a certain amount of time, so I just haven't been able to. Because I've sat there and done a lot of damage, and I think it heals, so it, like, you have to out-damage its heal. But the good thing is my Burggeist does, like, a bunch of damage now, so I can at least get these upgrades. And I think as you complete more things with your more towers, you get more abilities, but you also meet characters, which then give you items and give you, like, new abilities, from what I'm seeing. It's mostly just the broom that I want. Is you can do an extra little jump, and that will let me get up there. It will also let me get to some of the other items that seem more difficult to acquire. We totally can if I don't mess up the jump button. Sometimes it does, like, I can't tell if that's bug or if it's just, like, me double tapping by accident, but I don't think so. I think it's... Yeah, see, it does it immediately if you don't. I think if you... I don't know why it does it. But we're gonna try it again. You're taking a really long time to destroy it. See, this is what I mean. I think it takes, like, a certain amount of damage. Because sometimes it destroys those things in, like, 2 seconds. There, it's gonna go soon. I also wonder if those grow back since the bases are still there. I think they don't, though. I think most of the stuff in this seems like it's like you explore it once and... There we go. Dragon head seal. Let's see what that does. I think if it, I didn't realize I could cast it that fast. Yeah, come here, buddy. Because if it comes here, I have a thing that gives me faster regen if I am on top of it. Sick. But yeah, I think there's something really interesting about how much of an incentive I have to explore, even though, like, the only real game mechanics here are tower defense and, like, XP farming. But I think because of that simplicity, there's some real satisfaction to farming and exploring the map. So one of the things that made me want to play Burggeist, and I've been, like, kind of following it for, like, the last year or two since I saw a YouTube video about it. The simplicity of the gameplay and the progression mechanics, it feels, like, really weird for an open world game. It feels like it's of a different time. That is something that I really relate to in building Floppy right and building my game. And there's this, like, kind of, like, old school Zelda or, like, Final Fantasy or, like, Earthbound kind of progression. You can always go back and forth in the world, and you can always find new elements that you might have overlooked in the previous areas to expand on the story, but it's not like a RPG. It's not a hyper complex inventory system or a hyper complex currency or skill tree. It's really simple choices that give you, like, really concise, meaningful impact. It's entirely about, like, exposing yourself to the narrative, and there is no one way it's going to happen, because the narrative comes from all the characters within the world. So every NPC, you can talk to them, and then you have to internalize what they say. You have to keep track. You have to mark it down in some way in your laptop, and then that leads you to be able to make larger leaps and identify new sections of the world to explore. You know, it gives you the reasons to go out into the mountains. It gives you the reasons to go out to the ocean. Part of what I want to do with this series of YouTube videos is just to kind of like explore some of the games that I've been thinking about a lot and been interested in playing because of the game that I'm working on. And I think that's like a really important part of game dev, is like playing games and understanding why you're choosing to do the things you're choosing, and what the history or like even the contemporary lineage of your type of game is, especially because, you know, there are no new ideas, but a lot of what we do as game devs or as like people, as artists, is you're trying to curate old ideas into new experiences. Like, it's one of the first like pillars is getting a really concise, eloquent description of what kind of game you're making, and trying to connect that vision that we have for a game to an audience. And I think some of the best ways to do that is to look at the games that are around you, the games that you've played in the past, the games that you are currently playing, and think about how they present the same mechanics that you're trying to create. And something that I find really interesting and exciting is that I'm having a really hard time, but also a really easy time, finding these relationships within the games that I like. You know, one of my biggest influences for Floppy, right, is specifically Stalker Anomaly, but also like I would say the kind of the direction that Stalker 2 went. But the A-Life system is a huge of the ye old A-Life system is a really important influence on like how I've designed the AI in the world. But then, you know, there's also kind of elements of Myst, these games that expand based on your ability to observe and your ability to retain. You know, I want it to have that feeling of like the old games that you would need a like spiral bound notebook to keep track of some of these like really nuanced puzzles 2 or 3 hours in. That feeling of those old puzzle games or those like current puzzle games, and then also the openness and the community and the culture of games that have these like A-Life systems, like these big world and like NPC life schedules. It's a very loose relationship, but I'm super excited about the ideas that it gave me for what I can do with Buki, which is Buki is my wife and my cat, and he's the best. And he's also what our game studio is named after. You know, I already have a whole plan to make him dodge bullets and things when you're actually like fighting. I almost tried to go into my notebook while in the taxi, but I just realized that I haven't even thought about that possibility, and I don't know if it'll work. I kind of hope it would just work, but most things have not just worked. And so when I say notebook, I mean laptop. It's changed because it initially was a notebook in the text-based game that I made that inspired all of this. But now it's a laptop. It's got like a bunch of these apps on it that you can like drag around. This is a dial tone emulator. So a lot of this is based on like kind of like 90s hacking. And some of the puzzles you need to use dial tones to emulate, or like other frequencies that you can like modify in order to unlock certain dialogue. But it also, when you use some of these things to unlock puzzles or unlock doors, it opens up new dialogue And that's how I'm doing the progression. So it's like there's like an invisible story architect that is like keeping track. It's like an AI that's keeping track of all the things the player is experiencing and like taking note of. So when you put stuff in your notebook, it lets you do other things. So like I needed to have both of, so you don't type in 1 or 2, that's just how it formats it when you're done. I don't have a stop yet for skate park, but if we put in skate park, that's how I'm doing the taxi stops. So you can fast travel anywhere that you have in your notebook, but if you don't have it in your notebook, it won't let you fast travel. In Burggeist, you will blow up some of those things and you'll get some of those currency so that you can upgrade your towers and your Burggeist. When you save, it saves how much you got of that. It doesn't reset. It's not like a campfire system or something. Like when you save, it saves that, but it does reset your location. So it makes it so that you still have to go explore the world. You have to experience things, and you can fast travel in Burggeist. It's not like a main function of the game, and you can explore the map fast enough that it's okay to not be able to. And that's kind of like why I have the fast travel system be like you actually take a taxi ride. like you get in the taxi and you have to watch it go all the way across. There's a lot of waiting in this game at the moment in Floppy, right? And I am gonna try to speed some of that up. The world kind of takes a long time to load now. I put everything on a worker thread, but it's still it's like I still haven't figured out exactly how to move some of the loading process. And I hate hitching, so I'd prefer the game not to hitch and just have you wait a little while longer. So I'm going to try to add some juice to like make the waiting less painful. I'm just excited that I finally got to play some Burggeist, and I'm going to keep playing it and see where it takes me. And I am really excited to show Burggeist because it is a really cool, simple progression system that is a really exciting like story and world to play with. And like I had so much fun and like felt really satisfied by the game loop so far. And it's fun to tie these things into my own work. That makes it feel like there's a through line between my experiences as a gamer and my experiences as a game developer. So yeah, if you are interested in seeing more of how these games affect my work, or just in seeing the games that I'm excited to play and inspired by, subscribe. And if you are interested in Floppy, which is this game that I'm working on, you can wishlist it on Steam. It looks completely different now than it did months ago, but I haven't updated Steam yet, so ignore what it looks like, but it's called Floppy, Floppy/Right, and you can wishlist it, and that will really help me out, but also it'll let you stay informed about what goes on. Drop a like and subscribe, but I will see you soon.